At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I want to start a totally new, fresh segment that has never been done anywhere in entertainment before, Where Billy Was Right and Where Billy Was Wrong. But before we do that, Billy came in today, and the first words he said to me, it wasn't good morning, it was COVID ruined nobility. I don't have any other thoughts beyond that because you haven't expounded. You just, it's the first thing I heard from you, and then you walked away.
Well, I don't like the segment that you're pitching just on the front end. I don't like that situation whatsoever. No, I'm sick. I don't know if you can hear. I'm a little bit sick. And there was like a time when you were sick and you didn't want to leave, you let your team down or your coworkers down or whatever. And you're like, I'm going to power through. I'm going to go into work. And now that's very much frowned upon. Like, I would love to have stayed home today, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to miss 2 days in a row. I'm going to go in, and I'm just getting judgment left and right when I'm out there. I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching people's food. I'm not sneezing in their faces. I'm just existing.
You don't feel like you're welcome? We missed you yesterday.
I don't feel like I'm
Wild
welcome,
Willie
no.
Wednesday was missed yesterday.
I actually had Robert told me, Robert who does something here, Robert said to me,
he's the head of our IT. He doesn't do something. He
engineering, not IT now.
He keeps everything. He keeps everything up in the air.
He tries. So anyways, Robert told me, go home. And I was like, oh, okay, welcome, Robert. Thank you for welcoming me in.
Do you want me to start with Where Billy Was Right or Where Billy Was Wrong?
Neither, ideally. Why, did you see The Smashing Machine? Are you going to talk to me about that movie?
I didn't see The Smashing Machine, but
this A24 of yours is something else, man. Let me tell you something. A24, everything they do is great. Watch The Smashing Machine.
A24 has a better studio pub than any studio making things right now.
A24 is awesome. I love their movies.
So did Bernie Madoff until the end, right? Everyone's like, oh, we got to trust this Bernie Madoff situation. Then all of a sudden we couldn't trust him anymore. Look, this is all I'll say about The Smashing Machine, which is not what we were talking about. And I don't want to ruin the movie. I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything.
Is this like you standing out because everyone loves The Smashing Machine?
No, I'm not trying to stand out, but I'm just saying, if you watch scene to scene, and I'm not someone that like,
how I watch movies.
Here's the score, here's the, lighting, here's the writing, here's the this, here's the that. I'm not someone who would ever be like, the makeup in this movie, but I will say this, and when you're watching it, and I don't want this to be like the situation where like, we pointed out how much Stugotz fake laughed on Stupidity and no one could watch it again after that because they're like, oh, all it is fake laughing. But if you watch The Smashing Machine, just go scene to scene and try to tell me that The Rock looks like the same person from one scene to the next. Because every time it seems like, okay, this was a different day of shooting because he just looks different with all of the prosthetics and stuff. Doesn't look like the same person from one scene to the next. That's all I'm going to think about
now when I see it. Like, you may have just ruined it for me.
I told you, don't let this ruin it for you.
That doesn't matter. You don't get to say that. You don't get to say, don't let something ruin it, and then say the thing. And it's like, I have to remember, oh, but Billy told me not to let it ruin it for me. That's the way it works.
That's how you spot the reshoots. Yeah. Do that with Marvel movies, too. Wait, that's not its beard length.
Do you guys think that if you were Colin Farrell or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that you would do anything that required you to be 3 or 4 hours a day in makeup?
How much am I getting paid?
But they get paid that without being 3 or 4 hours a day in makeup.
Yeah, but they're paying me that, so I'm going to do that. Nah, not if it gets you hardware. Hardware takes you to a new salary structure.
But The Rock's already like the highest grossing person. He already gets paid the most. Like the hardware is just about
love
ego.
of the game.
You know what he wants? Respect.
That's right.
I want my respect.
Who are you impersonating?
That's LeBron after he won his fourth. I want my damn respect.
Okay. It's not a great impersonation you're doing.
He doesn't deserve a good impersonation.
What do you mean?
No.
He's still one of the top 10 players in the world, and he's 400 years old.
Wins a championship. I want my damn respect.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju at Le Batard Show. Have you spent the last couple of weeks singing that Greg Cody football song? Because it's a bit of a banger. Jeremy is in the other room now, changing all of his permutations from yesterday. As soon as we started talking about the Marlins playoff permutations, the Phillies hit 8 home runs against the Marlins to win last night. It's the most the Phillies have ever hit in a game. Can you guys look up for me how long the Phillies have been playing baseball? Because I think it's fairly amazing that as soon as we started talking about the Marlins playoff possibilities, they lose 11-1. A Sosa not named Sammy hits 3 home runs. Schwarber, of course, hits 2. 50 home runs used to mean something, but now Seattle has a catcher, the big dumper, who just hit 60. And he is, let's see, who do we have non-steroid division who's ever hit 60 before? Because he's the 7th player ever to hit 60, but non-steroid division, it's just Roger Maris and Babe Ruth, right? Aaron Judge has also hit 60? Didn't know that. Okay.
Are we sure about Maris?
Yeah, remember when we couldn't watch a Wake Forest football game without being reminded? Not the same sort of fanfare for a catcher to do it. It was kind of weird.
Or a non-Yankee. Seattle's a very likable team.
Philly started playing baseball May 1st, 1883.
So it's been 150 years that the Phillies have been playing baseball, and they've never hit 8 home runs in a game until we started talking about the Marlins playoff chances.
Let me be real and upfront with the audience. I'm in a Mariners group chat. Haven't watched a single game this year. I was all in last year. This year, married with a kid, baseball kind of fell by the wayside this year. Hard to track. It is absolutely insane to me that a catcher hits 60 home runs. More so, that it's a really good defensive catcher. Like, he won a platinum glove, which I just discovered is a thing, which means it's not just you're the best at your position. It's better than a gold glove. Yeah. You're the best defensive player in your league.
Wait, gold is better than platinum?
No, he's saying platinum is better than gold.
Platinum is better than gold because it is the best defensive player regardless of position. He won that last year. All right, this is a guy that 2 years ago told his GM and manager to make some moves at the trade deadline, and he was admonished for it. And then 2 years later, he's helping win that team its first division title since 2001 as a sterling defensive catcher, as a catcher that hits a ridiculous 60 home runs.
He hit 2 yesterday. We'll get back to
One
that.
landed in the third deck.
Yeah, it's crazy how good he is. And I am not ashamed to tell you that the sport has changed so much that I'm just wildly confused as to why it is there weren't a whole bunch of people hitting 60 home runs before this. Now that Aaron Judge can get into the 50s easily, he's got like 3 or 4 straight seasons of 50 home runs. The game has changed so much that it's legitimately disorienting to me to see the way they're playing it now, where a fourth of the time players strike out. That's just league average. 1 out of every 4 players is striking out, and they're all swinging for home runs. But Bill, you were sick yesterday, and I want to get to where Billy was right and where Billy was wrong. But before I go to Jeremy out there to give us the new playoff permutations, because the Marlins haven't been eliminated yet, I want to get your thoughts on meaningful Marlins baseball the last week of the season. Were you hurting last night while you were watching? Certainly you've been interested in the 7-game winning streak that preceded that, right?
I mean, hurting, no. It was funny to see, like, September 24th or whatever, that a bunch of Phillies fans were tweeting at me talking crap, where it's like, guys, like, you've won this division. Yeah. If you're flexing on beating the Marlins the end of September, like, you're a loser. You have a loser mentality. You're not going to win the World Series when you're tweeting at Billy Gill about the Phillies hitting 8 home runs in a game. I'm surprised that they're still in it. Like, it's a great story that there's like 4 games left in the season and they're still not technically eliminated. I mean, I don't think that anybody thinks that they're going to make the playoffs. They have to jump too many teams, but it's still meaningful. And now you can see in the offseason, like, hey, do you build upon this team, or was this kind of like a fluky situation? It's a fun spot to be in where they're still competing.
I can't decide whether I want to be mad at the organization for not spending more, being like, oh, look what this roster you had. If you would have spent a little more, you could be better. Or you could look at it as, look how good they're doing without spending. Like, the Mets are probably looking at the Marlins like, look how much money we're spending, and we're a couple games ahead of these guys.
Yeah, but you had a lot of guys kind of come out of nowhere that, like, Peter Bendix could have believed in by acquiring them as throw-in pieces in a trade, but, like, you don't know that they're going to pan out the way that they've panned out. So it's a surprise team, and you can kind of see how they build around it. I did like this. I did like that Sandy was pushed to go start in the Mets series just to ruin the Mets season. Like, I love that.
What day is he supposed to start?
That's a good question.
He's been better the last half of the season, but to your point, Chris, as to whether they should have spent or not, if their Cy Young winner had simply been Cy Young, they'd be in the playoffs like the Mets are. They didn't need to go acquire a whole bunch of people. They just needed their Cy Young winner not to have an ERA of 5.5 for the season. If he'd simply been mediocre all season, not even a Cy Young winner, not even a Cy Young winner. If their Cy Young winner had been mediocre this season, we'd be talking about them already being in the playoffs. But let's go out to Jeremy, who's had to recalculate all of this math now. Jeremy, keep us up to date on I thought yesterday would be catastrophic. I thought losing 11-1 to the Phillies would eliminate them, but they are still somehow in it. Explain to me how that's so.
That's right, Dan. So the Marlins are still in it based off all these permutations. The thing that you need to know first and foremost is the Marlins are going to need to go 4-0 to make the postseason. The moment they lose a game, whether that's tonight against the Phillies or any game against the Mets, they will be eliminated. But in order to keep their playoff hopes alive, the only things that they need are a Mets loss tonight. No. Let's just hear me out. They need to win out. They need the Mets to lose tonight to the Chicago Cubs because, of course, the Marlins winning out would mean the Mets lose out from there. And they need Arizona and Cincinnati to not win 2 more games. They can each win 1 more of their next 4 in order for the Marlins to advance.
Chris Cody, what are you laughing about?
So many words up there. They're screwed. You should just put "we're screwed."
No, they're still in it.
This is very much alive, guys. Arizona and Cincinnati.
Very much alive.
They're alive.
They're alive with 4 games to play.
But you would call it very much alive?
Here's why they're very much alive. Because look at all of the tiebreaker scenarios. The only team that the Marlins can end up in a 2-team tiebreaker with at this point would be the Mets. At 81 wins, okay? 81 and 81. I was saying 82 and 82 yesterday. I was speeding myself up. That's my mistake. But at 81 and 81, they would tie with the Mets. They would clinch the postseason berth because of their 8-5 head-to-head record with New York. Then look at every 3-team tiebreaker that's possible. They all include the Mets, and thus that 8-5 record against the Mets, should they sweep them this weekend, Marlins would clinch every single 3-team tiebreaker.
Jeremy, hold on. You're telling me that the Marlins can actually knock the Mets out of the playoffs by simply sweeping them at the end of the season? I thought the Mets were in.
No. Not if they win today, though.
If the Mets win today, the only thing the Marlins can do is knock the Mets out because Arizona or Cincinnati could ultimately jump them. But if the Mets lose tonight and the Marlins sweep them, the Marlins would make the postseason over the Mets. That is factually correct because of
nothing else has to happen. If the Mets lose tonight and we sweep the Mets, we're in the playoffs?
No. You need
now we're screwed.
Guys, this is not that complicated.
Arizona and Cincinnati cannot both win tonight.
If the Mariners do something,
they can win tonight. They would just need to be swept over the weekend. You need Arizona or Cincinnati to end up at 81 games as well, right? They both have 80 wins right now. They have 4 games to play. You can't let them get to 82. It's that simple. But if they stay at 81 wins, they go 1-3 over their next 4, which is entirely possible. These teams are all sitting right around 500. That's where you get into the tiebreaker scenarios. And as you look through it...
All right, I think we're done with this.
So he's going to go to 4-team tiebreakers?
We didn't get to the 6-team
Go.
tiebreaker
What about the 6-team tie? Go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead. Keep going.
All it is to say, the 6-team tiebreaker, I didn't get to finish writing it. Ultimately, that would go to the Marlins as well. They would have the best head-to-head record against the other 5 teams combined. And when you look at it, the 3-team tiebreakers, Marlins would clinch all of them. the 4-team tiebreakers. The Marlins would clinch every single one of them unless it was the Marlins, the Mets, the Diamondbacks, and the Reds because of percentage points. The Reds would have a better percentage points record, 579 to 576 over the Marlins. Outside of that, every single potential tiebreaker at 81 wins, the Marlins would win that tiebreaker because of their head-to-head record against these teams.
How would you win a 5-team tiebreaker, including Cincinnati, but not a 4-team tiebreaker, including Cincinnati?
Because ultimately the record against St. Louis and San Francisco, so the head-to-head record for the Marlins against those individual teams is stronger than the head-to-head record for the Reds against those individual teams.
Wait, we do 2-team tiebreakers? We don't do the game 163 anymore?
We do not do the game 163.
I don't like
Jeremy,
that.
look at the screen. Look at the screen, Jeremy.
Yeah, I see the screen.
No, leave Jeremy alone. That's a joke for the audience.
Remember game 163 a couple years ago?
I
With like
loved game 163.
Oh my God, it was like the most exciting baseball game of the season.
An extra playoff game.
More people probably watched that than the World Series. I don't know if that's true or not, but I remember, right? It was the Rockies, someone else, and one of the bald Rocky guys slides into home plate. He cuts his chin, his helmet comes off. I'll never forget it. I don't remember the name of the team, but I'll never forget it.
Howdy, folks. It's Mike Ryan, and I know it's early in the NFL season, but it has shown you exactly why the NFL is indeed king sport in the United States of America. Great games, incredible matchups, in-demand tickets for these high-profile games. Oftentimes, these games are sold out, and you're left with the secondary market. Well, let me tell you about my go-to on the secondary market, the official ticketing partner of the Dan Le Batard Show. I'm talking, of course, about Game Time. Game Time's amazing for a lot of different reasons. Zone deals, panoramic seat views, the low price guarantee, and Game Time's unparalleled ticket coverage. I'm an NFL free agent, so I'm always looking for the biggest games, and Game Time makes it so easy to peruse the app. One of my favorite features is fees are always included. What you see is what you pay, and that is hugely important when you're traveling abroad to catch the game du jour. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN and get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hey everyone, it's Mike Ryan. One thing about me that everybody knows, I absolutely love Miller Lite. You know what else I love? You. That's right, you. Listening on your way to work right now, wondering whether or not today is the day to tell your boss what you really think of the new reports he needs filled out every week. I absolutely love you. That's why I'm thrilled to tell you that we are again partnering with Miller Lite to give you a chance to play along with Weekend Observations. Starting September 22nd, you'll be able to go to DraftKings.com and guess what will happen during Weekend Observations on the show Monday, September 29th. How many beeps will there be? Who's the first person to interrupt? How many people will talk about the U's chances to win a national title? Spoiler alert, definitely me. The winner will get a trip for you and a guest to come to Miami and hang with us at Flanagan's for Thursday Night Football on October 30th, and a visit to the studio to see a taping of the show. Make sure you go to DraftKings and play free to win, and then tune in to the show and check out how you did. Must be 21 plus to enter. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Dan Le Batard.
That was a long story.
Yeah.
That's the only kind he tells.
It was a short one for me.
I tried to speed it up for you guys.
You forgot about the Leagues Cup.
Stugotz.
La Carreta is a place where the best of the celebrations has to be the 97 Marlins celebration because it was Levon
Well, when
Hernandez.
Fidel died the first time.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
There is something that was more watched than a World Series game a couple of nights ago. It's the Jimmy Kimmel Show. That is something that represents where Billy was wrong. The number that the Jimmy Kimmel Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, did was over 6 million people tuning in live to late night television. That's a college football number. That's nuts. That is crazy to have that in the middle of the night.
Miami, Florida did 6.5 million viewers.
Maybe people are interested in Glenn Powell.
And, Billy, you'll be happy to know that you were right and I was wrong. Those arches out there that they're spending $850 million on are indeed the thing that is going to be holding up the bridge of the future.
Really?
Yeah. It's not the actual bridge.
It's a suspension bridge.
But it's going to be, it is what he was saying. It's going to be like the Golden Gate Bridge where they're building the arches and the arches is where the bridge will hang from. You will not drive, obviously, on the arches, but that's what's going to hold up the bridge that they're building out there that has made downtown such a zoo.
Driving on the arch would be intense.
Was anyone asking that question?
I don't think anyone thought they were going to drive on that arch.
Wait,
did you think that?
Did Dan think this?
I didn't think it was a bridge. I just thought it was an arch. I thought it was only meant to be something that made our skyline beautiful. I didn't think they were attaching a bridge to it.
Like a bike path in there, maybe?
I thought it was just an ornament. That'd be a great bike path.
I don't know about great.
A little dangerous.
The way
on
up
the way
is going to
down.
be hell.
It looks hollow on the inside, right? Like you think if like you walk across that little bridge there that's holding the two pieces together, you think if you walk across it, you slide down that side?
I want Tony's next week's top 5 from there, right there, standing.
From where?
That
What do you
little
mean?
like bridge, like
The scaffold that's holding
the
both of them
scaffold in
together?
between the two of them.
That's where I want
A
you.
little dangerous suspension thing.
You gonna bail me out?
Jeremy will be doing pitch clock today later in the show in post game. The baseball playoffs are about to start. It's an exciting time. I do love this time of year. I can't believe what's happening with the Detroit Tigers. It's the single worst collapse in baseball history. They were 15.5 up in the middle of July, and it's just not something that you ever see. But I want to talk about the home runs last night, and I want to talk about Cal Raleigh. Like the idea.
The Maris family better be there, and we better get cut-ins. He can pass Judge. There's 4 games left. He can do this. Hell, he can catch Bonds. I wouldn't put it past him because nothing gets past Big Dumper.
What's he got to do to pass Bonds?
13 more, I think. Well, to tie.
In 4 games, are they still playing in Colorado? Do they have the 4 games in Colorado? He hit 2 last night in Colorado.
Big Dumper, my boy. He's got pop, which leads me to a traditional sports radio topic. Who's the greatest FSU catcher of all time?
Whoa.
He is.
Like 2 options, right?
I mean, no, you got 3. You got Maurer, you got Buster Posey,
Maurer.
and you got the Big Dumper. So we take them all at the peak of their powers. And again, Buster Posey, brilliant player, tremendous defensive player as well. Dumper, platinum glove there, Zaslow. So I would say,
Who was the Marlin that almost ended Buster Posey's career?
Scott Cousins.
Scott Cousins. That's right, they got that.
Stupid Buster Posey ruined baseball.
So you take this Cal Raleigh season and you make that the amalgamation of Cal Raleigh at the peak of his powers. And that's a 7.2 WAR. Buster Posey's best WAR was 7.6, which is, it just boggles the mind. Like, how could Buster Posey have had a better season?
Well, he had an MVP season. They won the World Series when he was an MVP.
Yeah, but Cal's having an MVP season and he's hitting 60 dingers.
All right, put it on the poll, please. Did stupid Buster Posey ruin baseball?
That used to be my computer like backdrop. Scott Cousins trucking Buster Posey. You know, when you used to be able to put an image. I guess you still can.
I think you still can.
On your laptop. Yeah, but no one does that anymore, right?
On their laptop?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Do you?
Yeah.
What's your background?
My show logo, Zaslow Show 2.0.
Oh.
Billy, I don't think you said Buster Posey might be better than Big Dumper, and he was the MVP of a championship season. But did Buster Posey ever hit even 30 home runs in a season? Did he ever hit 25 home runs? Did Buster Posey ever hit 25 home runs in a season? So that you guys can sort of absorb how much baseball has changed. Did the MVP of a World Series champion, Buster Posey, ever hit 30 home runs in a season?
No, his career high was 24.
That season, probably.
Yes.
And so when it comes to individual measurements, Mike, I think OPS and OPS Plus is where you go. Is Big Dumper having a better OPS and OPS Plus season than Buster Posey did the greatest season of his life when he won the MVP and they won the championship?
I'm not here to be deposed. That's for somebody else to figure out. But I think Jeremy does have an update on my traditional sports radio topic. We kick it out to Jeremy.
Well, ultimately, look, the peak of Cal Raleigh in doing this as a catcher behind the plate, the craziest part about getting to potentially 60 home runs is just the wear and tear that comes with it. Because to be able to produce that type of power, on the flip side, Buster Posey showing up every day and hitting about 330 as he was such a tremendous defensive catcher in the middle of an order that didn't have quite as much protection. The peak of their powers, it's really hard to argue one way or another. But I do want to get back to something that Chris was questioning, because all that needs to happen is that the Diamondbacks and the...
brother, you're doing this wrong. Just best FSU catcher of all time.
It's not Joe Mauer. He didn't go there.
He committed there, but then got drafted.
I mean, he was finishing third anyways. Let's be real.
The Kimmel monologue not only did more than 6 million people in the middle of the night, it also did more than 20 million people on YouTube. So 3 times as many people on YouTube watched as we're watching.
A couple people watched it twice, probably.
But then there are also the people that watched it in groups, Chris.
That's true.
Some of us didn't watch it at all. Amen.
When did we start, tracking the AL home run record? That's annoying, right?
When it was Aaron Judge.
But it's so annoying to be like, oh, Cal Raleigh's about to catch Aaron Judge for the AL home run. It's like, dude, what does that mean?
What's the NL East record?
I know. And
it doesn't matter that we're playing interleague play season round now. That the AL records and the NL records are completely irrelevant. No one's like, I'm an American League baseball fan anymore. That's not a thing.
It stopped being a thing when the umpires started wearing just MLB hats.
That's right. That's right.
Just call me Al hats.
Remember Al?
That's right.
Angels in the outfield.
I'm so happy. The greatest thing that Big Dumper did with this season is just rip away the facade of that whole Aaron Judge bullshit that we had to deal with a couple seasons ago.
You guys were so mad that...
It was BS. And it was just because it was a Yankee. We all know now. The Emperor has no clothes, Dan.
Wow. So in 2012, Buster Posey's OPS was 957. Right now, Cal's is 959. Wow. His OPS plus is 172. Buster Posey's OPS plus was 171. And I think we all know what that means.
They're close to very comparable players in terms of what it is that they do.
Which is wild because one of them is hitting 60 home runs.
Yeah. Dan, we're getting to the part where the baseball playoffs matter, right? And what I want to do is I'm locked in now. Yeah. We're right here. We're at the doorstep of the baseball playoffs. And I need to know, I need to get an update from the baseball guys to see kind of where we are so I know what to do going into the season. So, going into the postseason. So right now I have written down Mariners good catcher.
Yeah.
Tigers collapsed. What else do I need to know?
They still got a few days left. They may not fully collapse.
Well, they've already collapsed. Now they might.
Is it still a collapse if they still win the division?
They might uncollapse, but as we speak of this, they've already collapsed.
The old collapse into an uncollapse.
I don't think you can
put collapse not fully.
You don't think that they can now win the division and therefore not have collapsed as historically as I imagine that collapse is going to be remembered?
Like Greg collapsed at Highlight, and then when he came back, we didn't say, well, good news, Greg uncollapsed.
Maybe we should have
collapsed. Maybe.
Dan, do you remember Terry Kennedy? A 1980s catcher.
I don't know.
4-time All-Star, played in 4 different World Series with 3 different teams. He was an FSU.
Believe it or not, Giancarlo Stanton holds the record for single-season NL East home runs.
Yeah. Just NL East now you're doing?
I believe
59,
I believe it.
It's a lot.
I remember that vividly.
But you mean...
I'm going to go through every division.
You're just going to do it by division? Who holds the division?
Can we guess?
Lead in home run?
I like NL Central. Who you got?
I got Mark McGwire famously.
All right. You nailed it.
I got second place. It's probably either McGwire or Sosa.
All right. NL West. Damn it, Bonds. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be Bonds.
All right. Keep playing, though. AL West.
AL West,
we know
Cal
that.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
All right.
Cal Raleigh.
We're having fun here. AL Central.
We are. AL Central. Now, this one's tricky.
Frank
AL
Thomas.
Central.
Thomas is a great guess.
Jim Thome.
Paul Konerko.
Jim Thome is a really
Terrible
good
guess.
one.
That's a good guess.
That's a terrible guess.
Who'd Jimmy Fox play for?
Jimmy Fox was Detroit, wasn't he?
Then there you go. That's him.
But they may not have been in the Central then.
I don't think they were in this. There wasn't Central back then.
Who'd Hank Greenberg play for?
There was not a Central back then.
Fun game.
Jimmy Fox played for Philadelphia, Boston, and Chicago Cubs, so we didn't get any of that right.
What about Hank Greenberg?
The Hammer.
Phillies are
The
good.
Hebrew Hammer.
It's a good nickname.
He played for Detroit. There you go. We got our AL Central guy.
What year did he play?
All his whole career.
What years were they?
The 30s.
Then there was no Central then.
Whatever, man.
When did they start the Central? When did that start? Because there were two divisions.
This counts.
Like deep into the 90s, I think, before they made it three divisions in each league. I think, right?
Chris, can you sort by career and not individual seasons? Because
it began in '94.
Because there are players like Maglio Ordonez that played for multiple teams inside of the AL Central. This is where it gets fun, folks.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab, LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
It's Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances and save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get the job done for less at Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
There's a reason Chevy trucks are known for their dependability, because they show up no matter the weather, push forward no matter the terrain, and deliver. That's why Chevrolet has earned more dependability awards for trucks than any other brand in 2025, according to J.D. Power. Because in every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard. Visit Chevy.com to learn more. Chevrolet received the highest total number of awards among all the trucks in the J.D. Power 2025 U.S. Vehicle Dependability Study. Awards based on 2022 models. Newer models may be shown. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Don Le Batard.
While there's nothing official and conversations are still ongoing.
Was that a fake Schefter?
Because
it was pretty good.
It was excellent. I feel like there's legs. Yeah.
I tried at the beginning and then I lost confidence in it.
Why? It was good. It was good.
You got
There's
this.
nothing official.
Yeah, it's so
and
good.
Conversations are still ongoing.
Stugotz.
It is trending towards Nick Sirianni remaining the head coach of the Eagles.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I want to talk about, very briefly, the uniforms that the Dolphins are going to be wearing on Monday night. Monday night is an apocalypse. The Dolphins and the Jets are playing Monday Night Football, and these uniforms are really good-looking uniforms. They're just not in any way Dolphin uniforms.
It's horrible. I'm embarrassed.
I can't believe how negative this office has been on these uniforms. I thought it was going to be a consensus. These look cool. And everybody around here hates these.
They may look cool, but they're not the Dolphins. Like, that's not the Dolphins' colors. That's not their uniform. But on top of it, you know what aggravates me, and maybe some other fans too, is there is a consensus out there of, I would guess to say, 100% of the fan base would like them to wear a specific uniform, and they refuse to go back to it.
Old school one.
And you, of course. And they're breaking this out. Like, that's not the Dolphins. Who is this team I'm going to be watching on Monday night?
I cannot blame the Dolphins for wanting to wear a disguise when the world is watching, so that no one knows who they are, because this 0-3 football team, are you guys in agreement when I keep saying that this is a historically bad defense, or were you fooled by the second half against the Bills?
I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah.
Early in the season, how much worse would you have liked them to be than not be able to stop any of the drives of the Colts and the Patriots?
I think the part that's so surprising with this defense, I think one thing most of us would have agreed upon going into the season was they're going to be able to rush the passer. They got some guys who are going to be able to get after the quarterback, and maybe that'll be the one saving grace to having a terrible secondary is, all right, if you put pressure on the quarterback, you know, that'll be okay then. not only do they not get after the quarterback, but they blitz like the most of any team in the league through the first 3 weeks, and they still don't get to the quarterback.
Well, explain to me why, okay, you guys are surprised by a lack of pressure when I say the following, because Chubb's getting to the quarterback, but Phillips, you would understand why it is that his body is not right and he might not be the same player he was. And Christian Wilkins was kind of important to them, and he was important to Sealer. Like, what they had coming up the middle when they were getting pressure and on the edges, we can agree that Wilkins was a very good player for them. Wilkins is missed in a lot of ways, so you're surprised when I tell you Phillips' body is broken.
Were you not, excuse me, encouraged by his performance against Buffalo, though? Because I think prior to, he looked like, man, have all the injuries. Keep in mind, Jalen Phillips is a player that almost medically retired before he transferred to Miami. And his body has taken a lot of
the University of Miami, not the Dolphins.
Yeah. And I thought it was an encouraging performance against Buffalo. He's starting to get home a little bit more, and that's a type of injury that, I mean, we've seen over time. You kind of need some time to bounce back.
Wilkins is missed.
He's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he was released. They could go get him if they want to. He's recovering from injury. He's available.
I think that this is going to be a historically bad defense. I think they're going to have trouble stopping everybody all season.
Well, let them mesh. I mean, we'll see on Monday Night Football against the Jets, and then they have the Panthers, so he could be fooled about how good they are or not. Then we'll get a test, when they take on the Chargers, the Browns, and then the Falcons.
That's the test, the Charger game?
We'll see. No, with the Falcons, I wonder who's going to be quarterback at that point in time, right? Then after that, we have Ravens, Bills, Commanders. That's a difficult stretch. By the time the Saints come to town, November 30th, mark your calendars. We're going to know who this defense is.
Can you have two historically bad defenses in a span of 6 years? Because wasn't Dominique saying that it was criminal what they were doing like 6 years ago? So now you have
unethical, not
unethical. My bad. Unethical.
Yes, it is possible.
Now another 6 years later, you have another historically bad defense.
That's like when they say someone's a generational talent, and there's 8 of those playing every
same
year
generation,
at the same generation, which makes no sense to me.
I think to be a historically bad defense, you need to be the worst defense in the league, which they are not. They are 26th in the league right now. If you wanted to say the Ravens have a historically bad defense, you would presently be right.
I don't think you can ever say the Ravens have a historically bad defense.
Teams with a worse defense than the Miami Dolphins, according to yards per game: Ravens, Giants, Cowboys, Bears, Steelers, Titans.
Don't pay attention to stats. You could just never say the Ravens have a bad defense.
Give the Dolphins time. They'll catch up. Let me just go back, since we were talking baseball. And again, pitch clock will be later in the show as we continue to segregate baseball. But this is an exciting time of year for me. I really do enjoy baseball. But when you talk about what's happening with the Tigers, look at this when I give you these stats. The Tigers have lost 8 in a row, 11 of 12, and 20 of 27. While the Guardians have won 17 of 19. So that's how that happened.
So Guardians good? Do I write that down?
Guardians good.
Okay.
Guardians also hot at the right time.
Guardians hot at the right time. Okay.
Jim Thome, 52 home runs, 2002.
Yeah, that's the leader since 1994, since the AL Central was officially established. But you want to talk about the Guardians and this collapse by the Tigers? So on August 25th, Fangraphs had the Guardians as a 0.0 chance to win the AL Central. On September 10th, it's only the 25th. On September 10th, they had a 0.1% chance to win the AL Central. Now they are in sole possession of first place and own the tiebreaker over the Tigers.
Who are the Guardians?
Also, Paul Konerko's career high was 41 in a season.
That's good.
Frank Thomas, 43. So it's a big difference.
Wow. You can't come at me and say it's a terrible guess when he was 2 behind
43.
the big hurts.
No, it's not 43.
That's not terrible. That's actually really good.
It's Jim Thome, Albert Bell, and then Salvador Perez.
Albert Bell. Every time you say Albert Bell, it brings a smile to my face, even though Albert Bell was a total menace as a human being who scared everybody around him. See if you guys can find on YouTube for me Albert Bell being hit by a pitch and just refusing to go to first base, saying, "No, I want to hit. I don't want first base. I want all of the bases." No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. But he also, somebody was mad at him because he was keeping the clubhouse too cold, and he just destroyed the thermometer with his bat, or he just that was on the wall.
He had 3 homers in the game already, which is why he didn't want to go to first. He was looking to hit a 4th home run that day, and so when he was hit by a pitch, he said, "Nah, I'm good."
The first thing you think about with Albert Bell is when he threw the forearm shiver at the second baseman trying to attempt a double play, right?
He's the only player in baseball. Like, there's been some sizable guys. You don't want to fight Mo Vaughn if he was coming out to the mound to fight with you. But he's the only guy in my career as a baseball player that I knew that everyone else was just afraid of him. They were afraid that he was going to beat them up. He also had a temper problem. Like, he had a bunch of incidents, including, like, didn't he chase some kids with his car on Halloween? Like, he had a
temper problem, huh?
Yes.
like Jeepers Creepers?
What do you think those kids were dressed as?
I'm pretty sure that he has a long litany of things on the resume that suggest that, temper. Needed to get it under control, had some issues with that. But I just don't think of baseball players as being so menacing that you're afraid of them. Even Aaron Judge. You look at Aaron Judge.
No, he seems nice, Aaron Judge.
Can you give me some information about Aaron Judge being, about where it is that Aaron Judge was drafted? Because generally, players that size, their strike zone is too big for them to be hitting 50 home runs all the time. Because no matter how long their levers are, that size of a strike zone is too big of a strike zone for somebody to be as good as Aaron Judge is. Where was he drafted, Jeremy?
He was drafted 32nd overall. So he was a first-round pick, but there were 31 players who went ahead of him. Ironically, that year, number 1 overall, Bryce Harper, number 3, Manny Machado. So heck of a draft.
On Halloween in 1995, a bunch of teenagers decided to egg Albert Bell's house. So he decided, I'm going to chase them down with my car. Bell was fined $100 for reckless operation of a vehicle. The guardian of the teenager later sued Albert Bell for $850,000, contending that Bell's car had bumped into the teenager. The lawsuit was settled in 1997.
I was wrong about that draft. He was drafted in the 31st round out of high school in 2010. Then he was drafted 32nd overall in 2013. That draft was led by Mark Appel and then Chris Bryant.
You didn't need to correct yourself. You were right.
Billy, would you do me the favor, please, of just looking through all Albert Bell incidents? Because I think
it's not as fun if you continue.
Really?
You're not going to like where this goes.
2006, he was sentenced to 90 days in jails and 5 years probation after he admitted to stalking his former girlfriend. 2018, he was charged with indecent exposure and driving under the influence. Charges were dismissed.
Marlins took Colin Moran 6th overall the year Aaron Judge.
I want the incidents while he was playing baseball.
Oh, I thought you meant the legal troubles.
No,
that's like a nice guy otherwise.
That's not. No, I wanted the ones
maybe
from his playing career. I pretty much understood just where he was coming from at all times, and it was just rage.
So under the personal problems section, because that starts with alcoholism. That's not good either.
No, I'm just looking for stuff during the playing career, just stories that were told. I've told you guys before the story. Like, baseball clubhouses are funny, right? The Pirates had a second baseman, Jose Lean, who one time, for reasons that I didn't have any understanding for, I'm just standing there, and he throws a hunting knife across the room and embeds it in the wall. And I'm like, why would someone do that? That doesn't seem sane or reasonable in any way. And the one who was feared by all other players was only Albert Bell. There's no close second on someone that was feared by everybody long before. Like, if that player played today, we would have him go get treatment, because all of us would understand that what's happening there is not sane. But he could hit a baseball very hard and very far, and would hit 3 home runs in a game and then get hit by a pitch and say, I don't want to go.
How many throws would it take you to throw a knife at a wall and get it to stick?
A hunting knife, those are sharp.
You're doing it first try? You're doing it first try, Tony?
Yeah, I'm doing it first try.
Of course.
Chris,
I don't know, man.
you feel like the handle's gonna just hit the wall, and
I'm
then
just like,
you got to throw a blade. You don't throw it by the handle. You throw it by the blade first. Yeah, you throw it by the blade.
No. That can't be.
That's how you do it. You throw it by the blade first, so it has the rotation.
Yeah, but when you throw an axe, you don't hold the axe by the blade.
Like, what are you talking
It's different, though.
I think he might be right, though.
Really?
Yeah,
I
sure.
think. Put it on the poll at Batard Show. In order to embed a hunting knife in the wall, do you throw it by the blade?
Well, hold on a second, though. Like, explain that
It's
to
like
me.
a star.
The axe is different. The axe is different.
But
The axe has the
explain-
handle. There's more surface area.
Okay.
There's more surface area on the blade of a knife than there is an axe.
Okay,
and a
but
handle.
Where are you getting this knowledge from?
I don't.
It depends the size of the
I think
knife.
he's
also.
right. I think he's right.
Because you
What if you're
believe what he
doing it
says
in
because he
a
just says
hurry?
it with confidence.
What
Dan,
if
this
you,
is a- this
you
is
have
a-
to do it in a hurry.
this
You're
is a
gonna
matters
blade
teaching
first
situation.
side. That's very
The
dangerous.
rotations matter. What if I throw from 3 inches further back? Then that would be like half a rotation, and then the blade, the
But
handle
you
would
can
hit.
fix that by throwing it faster.
Well, and this is very important. Do you throw the blade overhand, or is it like you take it on?
Who does that?
Underhand
Oh,
is...
I can do it. I can do that.
You don't have
Like
the
that.
same juice underhand. You got to go overhand.
That's how you get
with
cut.
juice.
I'll decide how much juice I have.
Underhand.
Yeah, underhand's weak.
No, you can do underhand.
You don't know about that, Dan. You know
Jenny
about that
Finch, what are we
underhand.
doing
I
here?
do like
weak sauce.
kind of like gambit.
That's how you get him.
Oh, yours is sideways.
Yeah, like gambit.
You put your arm up. I don't see what you're doing.
No one throws a knife like a frisbee. That's
Yeah, you can't.
Still
diabolical.
throw my
can't do
blade.
that.
Not like a frisbee. Like gambit throws
That's
playing
like
cards.
a frisbee. What are you throwing?
Nah,
a boomerang?
You're not getting anyone
I could
like
also.
that.
I could
That's
also
what I'm
do it
saying.
Like
Zaz knows.
Like Alex Gonzalez.
I've already
turning two.
stabbed you in the heart.
Hell yeah.
Gonzalez turning 2.
Well, if you throw it, did you stab him?
I got lots of blades in my pocket.
You guys are not noticing. Everyone's talking, and no one's noticing that Zaz is providing a sound effect with his underhand blade throw that kills you while you're talking. You're giving opinions, and he's going left-handed. You're not expecting it in any way.
And I'm a righty.
Everyone else is coming at you overhanded. They're telegraphing what they're doing. He's doing it sneaky style.
But he keeps missing us. That's the
Are
problem.
we doing this in a competition, or are we doing this like, oh, it's real life? You need to throw something in the street. You're not going blade first. Too dangerous if you have to do something quickly like that. You'll cut your hand.
Not
open.
if you're an accomplished hunting knife thrower.
That's the thing.
Like Tony.
Plus, what you do is on the street, you grab it, and then you toss it up, and then catch it on the blade.
Wait, you're putting on a show?
No,
Right,
that
no.
part we agree with.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have
You
it.
have to-
You have it in your thing.
That the swoop is important.
You guys are all coming at Zaslow. You're telegraphing what you're doing. You got your arms out. You got your blades out.
So many blades I threw you.
You do it too quick, though. I imagine you like reach in, it's the wrong
You're right,
pocket,
it is too
and
quick.
boom, you threw your keys at me.
Too quick
Exactly
for you to
right.
notice it's coming.
That's a ninja star technique, not a blades. Yeah. Howdy, folks. It's Mike Ryan, and I know it's early in the NFL season, but it has shown you exactly why the NFL is indeed king sport in the United States of America. Great games, incredible matchups, in-demand tickets for these high-profile games. Oftentimes, these games are sold out, and you're left with the secondary market. Well, let me tell you about my go-to on the secondary market, the official ticketing partner of the Dan Le Batard Show. I'm talking, of course, about Game Time. Game Time's amazing for a lot of different reasons. Zone deals, panoramic seat views, the low price guarantee, and Game Time's unparalleled ticket coverage. I'm an NFL free agent, so I'm always looking for the biggest games, and Game Time makes it so easy to peruse the app. One of my favorite features is fees are always included. What you see is what you pay. And that is hugely important when you're traveling abroad to catch the game du jour. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN and get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today.